Hi guys, it's 4 a.m. here, so I thinking about making this. This is just a private video for you guys. Okay, I recently make a in Malay and Malay language about trend identification. So for some of you may, of course, wouldn't know the Malay language, right? I will do one English version right now, which is called the trend identification, which is around here. Okay, which I will gonna explain on all this to you guys today, so you guys can practice, because the most important part when you trade um inside bars or head and shoulders and all that, right? The most important aspect of trading, right, is really about trend identification, and there is a flow to it. Okay, there is a flow to it. I mean, like, how do we know about higher lows and lower highs, and then the market structure and all that? Okay, so I'm going to explain to you guys in this video. Okay, so starting, we always follow market structure. Okay, follow the market structure. The basic market structure has 4 points. Okay, I'm going to explain it right over here. So example, for instance, right, a basic market structure, right, always look for your trend, right? Example, you want to observe the market structure, right? Just always look at your trend first from the higher time frame. So in this case, you want to look at the daily first. Okay, do not go to your H4 or to your entry time frame before you find out what is how you analyze in your daily. Okay, the daily structure you need to analyze first. Okay, if you could not find a daily structure, a bias after you analyze that daily trend, right, then there is no reason for you to go to H4. You will just be taking based on the running candle, or when the bull stop moving, then you'll be FOMO, which is fear of missing out, and then you will make a rash decision on a trading entry. Alright, so for market structure, 4 points, right, it's always that you determine that the 4 points of this one. Okay, the 4 points is example. Okay, so that is the first point. Price has to move from somewhere, so there is the low point, which I will call number 1 here. For number 1 here, which is the low point. Okay, and then price push up here, which is number 2, which is the high, and then in here this is the number 3. Okay, which is called the higher low. Alright, so the moment price push up, okay, price push up and close above this previous high and closes here, that is called the higher high. Okay, so when you see this, right, market is on an uptrend. Okay, market is on an uptrend. It will fluctuate from here and here on after price make a push. So the basic rule about the daily trend example, right, do not sell when price went to the higher high, or do not sell when price make a lower low, because you are going to sell after a push, because after a push, right, price will most likely going to come down for a retracement. Okay, and this wave, and if this is the daily trend, right, this down wave in your H4 will be reflected as a downtrend. Okay, and this is where a lot of people are looking for that sell. But if you have the thing is, when you see the 4-point structure, right, the basic rule is that as long as this number 3, the higher low, as long as price does not close below here, right, it's still a buy. Remember that rule. Okay, for the uptrend, and then for the downtrend is also the same. Okay, it's the same as well. Okay, number 2, number 3, number 4. Okay, so once price reach here, do not sell. Once it goes up here, right, once it goes up here, all you need to do is just to stand by around here, and then we wait for an entry trigger for us to go in. Okay, it can be a weak momentum, or it can be a false break. Okay, and then the thing is, right, so the trick is, right, as price are pushing up here back to this area, right, price is pushing up. Okay, in the daily. Okay, as price is pushing up, right, do not take a sell, even though we identify this as a down structure, because we want to wait until price reach first, and then we can see evidence of sellers trying to push this. That is where we are standby to look for that sell. Same goes for the uptrend. Okay, so once So example, right, if there is an evidence of price pushing here, this is considered the first push. Okay, because normally, right, most of the time, right, price will go down and after that it will come up again before really went down most of the time for this kind of downtrend. Later we'll see on the charts, then we can understand. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate later in the trading view. Okay, to my in terms of this. Okay, let's just go. I'll go one by one. Okay, to validate my point about this market structure. Okay, let's just go from the daily. Okay, so this is the euro dollar. Okay, euro dollar. I'll just take from here. This is the past, right? Okay. Okay, so if you look from here, right, price has been on the uptrend. If you look at this, always mark your wave from your left to right. Price also been on an uptrend, and then what we see that there is as price goes down here, there is a support here. Okay, price retest support, does not break support, does not break the support, right? So you see, this is the first, as I mentioned just now. Okay, the first attempt, and then look at that, you went up before heading down. Okay, so most of the time, what is that way. So example, now we see that this one is a downtrend because this is the point number one. Let me see. Okay, so we can see that this one is the point number one, and then you make down here point number two, and then you make down here point number three, and then point number four. At a point number four, as I say, do not look for a sell, right, as price goes up. And you see that as price goes down here, right, as long as price does not close above this one, right, above the number three, we are still looking for that sell. Okay, and if you notice that after this happened, right, price continue to go lower. Okay, even though it still goes up and down and all that, right? So as it goes lower and lower, right, just mark that support, because since we identify it as a downtrend, the main job of a downtrend is to break the support. Am I right? So in this case, there is just support down here after this push down. Okay, you can see that. Then in this case, price make a very sharp pullback here. And if you look at this pullback, right, if you do not mark this bigger picture time frame here, okay, if you do not mark this, then you'll be tempted to go and buy at this point. But in actual sense, right, it's more of a liquidity grab to go lower. And you see eventually what happened, price did went to break that support which is we have marked here. Okay, so now there is another low here which is waiting to be broken. Okay, waiting to be broken. Alright, so from here, and then this is now the new number three, right? Because after the number three, then price went down to the lower low, and this is where people look for sell, and it doesn't work out. Okay, and the other point that we can also mark here as the number three as well, because there was quite a relevant push. And if you look at here, right, price never escaped. Price never really escaped. Instead, what happened? Did we see a break of support? It's like consolidating in this case. Okay, for a very long time until this point here. This is the point where a support is broken. Okay, and you see that this is where people sell. Instead, it went up. So this support has been broken in this case. And look at how well price respect that broken support, turning to new resistance in the daily. Okay, so as price went up, and then you see price breaks support again. So you see, as price breaks support, and support is still downtrend. Okay, that's the lowest point. Okay, I'll just mark here. So the bigger picture in this case still down. Okay, and then price break the support here. So you see at any point of time, right, the price does not break the last lower high in this case. So there is support broken here. So the main thing, right, do not sell at high high, and do not sell at lower low, and do not buy at high high. Okay, and in this case price went up. Okay, price went up, and in this case a lot of people are buying. Okay, but instead it went down again, and this time it broke that support again. Okay, that is the lowest point. Okay, then another point which is from here, so become lower low there. Okay, and at this point of time people buy. Do not sell at lower low, right? This is the lower low. That's why I see price went up, and then price break the support right now. So I'll mark it. So every time when price break the support, you just mark, because why? Later as I go around, you will see why. So as price breaks down here, okay, you see that this push up. So we are looking from left to right right now. Okay, left to right. Price went down here. Price never reached that support. Instead, this is, if you look properly right now, right? If you look properly right now, price is pushing up, and there's a chance that it will push higher, because there might be a change in trend right now. Because right now, right, what we are seeing right now is that, okay, the price went up, then went down here, right? Okay, we can see that this is a resistance, right? This is a resistance, right? But if you see properly, then after that, what happened? Price broke that resistance right here. Price has broken this resistance. Am I right? So in this case, right, there is a possibility of a trend change in which USD right now, Euro USD might go up. That's why I went for a buy for Euro USD today. Okay, so just by identification of this trend, okay, you don't look from this downtrend anymore, because it does not happen. Because right now, so this is number 1, number 2, and this is number 3, right? Look at this number 3, price does not break, so there is no continuation of the downtrend in this instance. Okay, and then right now, as I said, there is a chance that you might want to make a higher high. So when you see a chart, right, it's either going to break a support or break a resistance. So in this case, right, in this example, right, I'm looking that the price have a chance to break, to go higher, to break this resistance which is on the left here. Okay, and then we have a new higher high, and then we have a trend change. Okay, if based on the supply and demand is the rally, the base, and then the rally. Okay, so market structure. So market structure, follow the market structure. So remember the rule, right? The one that I just shared with you. So observe price movements from left to right and not from right to left. Then make your analysis from there. So as you see the way that I see just now, right? Look at how I analyze the chart from here. It's really from the left to the right. Okay. What I meant by that, right? For instance, right, if you are going to example, right? For instance, I'm going to get an example. Okay. People recognize that this is a resistance, right? People recognize this is a resistance. If you are looking from the charts from your right to your left, okay, that means you are looking from here, from your right to your left, and you took a sell in this case, right? It won't work out. It won't work out because you are looking from your right to your left. It doesn't make sense. You're supposed to look from your left to your right, not from your right to your left. If you're looking from your right to your left, right? Now it's no more sell, it's all a buy. If you look at the waves, right? After a wave, right? Usually, most of the time, right? Price will go up and down, right? And as it goes down and up, right? There is a wave form. So mark that wave to see the bigger picture, okay? So for instance, in this case, this is still a down wave. Any push up is considered not really that strong. Okay, and then you see market push up again. Eventually it followed this bias here. Okay, until here, this is where the things start to get loose. okay, then we are not looking any kind of this downtrend. Now we are looking is more into the up wave. So if you look from your left to your right, it's more into a up wave right now. Okay, so this is from your left to your right. So always look the market right from left to right and not from right to left. Then make your analysis from there. So what is done by the market is market breaking more support than with breaking more support than resistance, or is the other way around. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in this instance, right? If you look from euro, right, I'm gonna delete all this. Okay, so we recognize that this is a resistance, right? Okay, we recognize that it's a resistance. We also recognize this is a support. Okay, then we recognize that price went down here in this case. Okay, this is the first drop, right? Then as price went down here, it never break this support. Price went down here, it never break the support, and instead what happened? It broke resistance. And so right now, right, as I say, after we find that it broke resistance and the high point, the price go down here, this is where you will mark. It's not as meant for you to sell. If you are going to sell right here, you are looking from your right to your left. This is unmarked because this is meant to remind me that this is a resistance that is bound to be broken. Just same like what we go through just now. That's why I said that there is a possibility that price to continue to go its way up. Okay, if you look from a H4 perspective, right, hold on. Okay, you look from your H4 perspective, right, price is pushing up. Okay, price is pushing up. So in this case, I did explain that your sales is not going to, your sell, even though price did push down, right, but your sales is not going to work out. Okay, this is not how a downtrend should look like. Okay, maybe some of you will say, oh, the downtrend has not happened. So you say the downtrend has not happened, that means are you trading what you think, or are you trading what you see? Based on what I see, price is pushing up. We are making higher lows. We haven't made really that higher high, but we are making higher lows and we are not pushing down. That's why the a downtrend is not right in this manner. Okay, so what's the next one? Do not take both buy and sell wave. Look at the general bias and the bigger picture. Okay, so as price went up and down, right, do not participate, but you anticipate. So in this case, right, we knew that price has make a support here. So as long as price does not make the support, right, it's only a buy, and that's it. So when it's buy, so since we know that we are buy, when are we gonna buy? So we have to buy only when price went down and when it's usually bearish. Because for instance, right, we know that it's a buy, but the mistakes that most people make is that they buy when they see a bullish candle. But if you notice, right, in most markets, when you buy at bullish candle, the next one is usually go down. Okay, when you identify an uptrend, right, if you notice properly, right, every time when it's bearish, you buy bearish. When candle is bearish, right, in an uptrend, it will always, most of the time, works in your favor. Okay, so the reasons why I take this way, there's a lot. You look from here, there's an inside bar here, inside bar breakout, but now we have seen an inside bar fakie, and I anticipate it to be a fakie based on the wave that we see and the general trend of the daily, which is why I take a buy. Because for instance, right, if you look at the psychological, right, a lot of people are looking for sell here. Okay, a lot of people are selling here, and that's the mistake. Because if you look at the past here, right, your sales is not going to work out. Okay, so what time to identify, which time frame to identify the trend? Daily is the best. So as I notice here, as I demonstrate to you, right, daily is the best time frame for you to identify. So if you look from here, it's naked. I totally interpret from my left to right. There is a process. There is a systematic process to all this. I do not use indicators, right, as you guys know. So just follow this flow and try to read based on the market structure. Okay. So use minimum of 2 time frame for analyzing and analyzing an entry. Do not based on a single time frame. So do not look at just all H4. Okay. Some people or some of you, maybe if you're looking at H1, really forget it. Seriously, just look at your daily, and H4 is really sufficient for you to trade successfully. Okay, that is the minimum, the best. Seriously, I've been looking at daily and H4 for unlimited times, uncountable. Okay, so look from your daily and your H4. Those are the most reliable time frames. Okay, so follow your rule of buying and selling. Do not buy after a bullish push and do not sell after a bearish push. So this is where I emphasized just now. Okay, for instance, if you look from here, right, there's a push up here. Okay, after a push, if you buy, you lose. After a push, you buy, you lose. After a push, you buy, you lose. Okay, like for instance, right, if you buy here, right, it may or may not work out, because right now, right, based on what I see, that there's the chance that you just continue based on this strong momentum. There is a chance, but right now most probably we still got half an hour without the market close, right? It's gonna be closed inside bar, and before this inside bar happen, what is the previous trend is pushing up, so it might be inside bar breakout in this case. Alright, next. Okay, so closing prices important. Yes, closing prices is important because we want to know whether it closed higher or lower. Because it closed higher, then it's an uptrend. So in this case, right, even though the uptrend is not really visible yet based on the closing price and all that, right, but the thing is, right, is look at this from left to right. Is price closing lower? Is price closing lower? One, first of all, no. Okay, and then are we looking at this kind of move here? No. Okay, there is no such thing. This is a uptrend. A downtrend is a classic. I'm going to show you. This is a downtrend. Can you see this? Can you see now the difference between an uptrend and downtrend? This is a downtrend. This is an uptrend. Can you see that? It's very clear. Okay, so how do you want me mark the chart? Just now when I share with you about the 4 points of the market structure. Okay, we only buy at higher low and we only sell at lower high, so we have to identify that in the one that I share with you. Yeah, in this case. Okay, so as long as price, you see you mark here, as long as price does not close below this number 3, you look for a buy. Same goes for the sell order. Okay, if you're gonna mark this, you should be safe, because your daily, right, if I'm gonna mark this in the daily, right, the H4 when it goes down here, right, the H4 cannot beat the daily. Okay, no need to go to the weekly lah. Okay, slowly try to master daily and H4 first. Okay, that's all I have. So try to master the trend analysis. Okay, so let's give it a try for the so if you got a simulator, right, try to have the FX blue. Okay, so that you can really test out your strategies in this case. Okay, let me just try this euro yen on the simulator, but for this FX blue you can only try on one time frame. Okay, so let's just try from the H4 and see how it works out. going to apply what I share with you and see how it works. This simulator is from 2003. I'm going to tell you that the price movement does not change over the last 10 years or 20 years. Okay, so what we're seeing right now, okay, a down wave has happened. Good. But now we are seeing an up wave. Okay. Okay, so now an up wave had happened, consolidation and up wave, and we are seeing the closing is higher, of course, so we are looking only for buy. Price already make a push, right? So we are not going to concentrate on buying here right now. Instead, we can mark now where is the point, where is the last point here. Let me just mark the zone. I will mark the zone actually until here. Okay, as long as price does not close below here, I can look for a buy. Let me see whether is there any more area that we can look. Actually, this one, this area is actually quite good because it's a previous resistance. The price came back here to test. We might look for a buy. So now, right now, right. So what we do, we see this. Okay, so now, right, we don't look at this. We are going to mark here. Okay, my bigger picture looks like still a. So we see a push. We see a resistance here. Right. Let's go down. Right. So there's a resistance here. So it's not really fully worked. So we want to see what happens here. Okay. But my bias is off. Our bias is off. Buy, right? Okay, so our bias is still a buy. Until proven otherwise, of course. Let's go. Won't take a while. This is simulator. This is not live yet. Do not chase the price. So if we are going to identify that this is in an uptrend, right? Price goes up, we don't chase. But if price goes down, we buy. Let's see. Oh man, it's taking so long, right? Okay. See, for instance, if you're going to set, just now when I share with you, right, if you're going to buy after a push, right, it's going to be very, very dangerous. It may or may not work out, but it's not something that I would emphasize. So let's see whether if there is any inside burn. Nope. The chance that this might go down, because if you look at the highs, right, it's quite close together. So do not buy both buy and sell wave at the same time. Let me pause this. So what we are waiting as price is pushing down, right? We are not going to buy yet, but price push up. Once price start to be bullish and pushing up, maybe 2 or 3 candles, and then as long as then one small bearish candle, most probably we can go in. Okay, let's continue. Reverse my pause button. Okay. See, very strong. At this point, nobody is gonna buy. If there is a small bullish candle, it's quite dangerous to buy as well. Because small bullish candle at this down, right, it's just showing me that the buyers are weak. At this point, can we buy? Nope. So another point, right, you can make is after this, right, you can put this. Okay, in this case, if price went up here, then there's a chance that we can look for a buy. Close up. We want to see the upward movement. Okay. where is our bigger picture here. So anything go down is still just a pullback. Okay, now we can see, let me pause. We can see that slightly weak sell momentum because the bodies of the sellers is very small, right? Okay, so in this case inside bar breakout in this case, right? But if price went up, that means this is an inside bar fake, and that's where we can look for a buy, because that's considered an entry trigger inside bar fake for this one to go up. Okay, so let's just see what happens. Go. Prices went back to the resistance. Now there's a strong push. There's a chance. There's a chance. Okay, so in this case, let me see. No, not yet. Go. Okay. Now we can see. This is good. Okay. Now let's see right now what happens. Now there's a very strong push now. So for instance right now, most probably, let's see which one can I check. Okay, I'll just take from here. 124.06. Where I can take a buy limit. Stop loss 30 pips. Take profit 120. So let's see. Okay. Good. So the point is whether we break this resistance to start this higher high, or it will go down to hit my stop loss and then start to be a downtrend. Just try to have a simulator. Really, you will understand how price moves, and it just makes you a bit more better into before trading the real time frame. It's quite choppy, right? Yeah, but that's how the nature of price is. Based on this price movement and what you see now, is there's not much difference, right? Except, yeah, of course, volatility, market participants are all different. 2003 and now 2020. Here we are up 40 pips. Okay, good. So now if price goes up here, well, then it will going to continue the uptrend. Pips. Some of you may have closed this. It's okay because price have already reaches here. Usually when it reaches here, there's a chance that you want to go higher. There's a chance. Oh, gap. Might go down a bit here then before go up. To fast forward a bit. Okay. See? Price did went up, right? So now most probably it may hit our next TP, which is take profit here. Still a chance. Now it's at 100 pips, 97, 90 to 100. Under and 20 pips achieved, and now the uptrend continues. So until when did the uptrend continues? Let us fast forward. After a push, price will normally calm down, but see it go higher. Now can you see how this, if you look, you are going to determine from your right to your left here, but you take a sell order, which doesn't make sense, right? Now you see what I say, you will look from your left to your right, and then there's a push breaking this resistance here. Price make a pullback into this broken resistance, starting the new support. Okay, I'm waiting for the push. As price is going down here, I don't look for any kind of sells. I'm just waiting for an opportunity to look for a buy order, which it works. Let's see how far it goes. Based on my entry price around here, 124, that's more what, 300 pips, bro. 300 pips, my god, it's crazy. See, after that push, now this is strong push, right? It's quite dangerous to take any kind of buy. As it broke here, it broke this resistance, right? So now as long as this is not broken, it's still a buy. As long as this is not broken, it's still a buy. See, there's no sell order. Price sometimes does not come back to retest. Now now there's a chance that it's going to go down. Okay, because the previous support has been broken here, price went up here, it might just retest here and then go down lower. So now number 1, number 2, number 3. So first time will break out here, it's still going to go lower. Broke the support. Oh, it's going to go higher now. But this is H4, so it's not going to be easy. Look at that. See, price eventually went lower. So if you're going to take a buy from here, it's not going to work because you're going from your right to your left, from left to your right. So your left to your right is actually a down movement, which is a very strong, working the support. It's the lowest point, up wave, now it's down wave perhaps. Okay, up wave again, so now it went back to the uptrend. Alright, so practice in the simulator, guys, for you guys to really understand how this works. Okay, I will stop here. I will see you guys soon. Cheers.